Middle Ages, you
Hmm.
know, people there were groups of people who thought, or tribal situations, there are groups of people who think that it is a good thing to make war, to conquer, to you know, to gain those. Like there's no, it's not wrong to do that. You'd be hard pressed to find anybody today that said that's good.
Yeah, there's not many people that will say, "Yep, war is good. We just love that war." But there was a point in time back then, especially with the Nordics, they lived to fight. They loved to go to
Yeah,
war, and that was their
yeah,
whole
yeah,
their
yeah.
whole culture was evolved around going to war with others, trying to conquer other things.
So was it wrong for them to do that, or because everybody agreed that it was not wrong, it wasn't?
I feel like that would be a part of me knew that this would come up, and I still didn't. I didn't answer then. I don't think I know if I have an answer for that now.
Wait, what specifically about the Vikings?
No, I'm sorry. I just got I'm a huge weeb. I just got finished watching Vinland Saga, but
Oh,
like,
I love it.
but
I
like,
love Vinland
but like,
Saga.
yeah, Vinland Saga is great. But yeah, that's why I using the Vikings as example specifically. But like, just as what you were talking about, the same thing where they had the old tribesmen days when they were all living for war. They loved to go to war and whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a feeling this was gonna come up. I didn't have an answer for it then. I don't know if I have
No,
an
that's
exact
okay.
answer
Let's
for it
think.
now.
Let's think.
Um,
Let's think about it in weeb terms. Let's think about Thorf. Let's think about Thorfinn for a second.
yeah,
You know, he lived that life. He was, you know, kill, or be killed constantly.
yeah,
But then eventually he gave that up.
yeah.
Um,
Because every time he had visions of his father was like, "Dude, just go home."
yeah, because I mean, you could see his father was that kind of man,
Yeah.
even to his own detriment.
Mm-hmm.
Got him killed. Um, why was he choosing to live that way?
He chose to live that way because that's what he believed to be the right thing. He believed very strongly as no one has
Sure.
any real reason to hurt others.
Okay. Yeah, I
That's what he
think I
kept
th-
saying.
I think you know in general, um, I think you can make an assumption that he thought that that was the right thing to do. But why did he think it was the right thing to do? Like in your mind, why did Thorfinn and his father make that decision that that was the right thing to do?
I feel like they were probably because when it was explained through not Thorkel the tall one, Th- Thor's Taurus. I can't remember the dad's name right now.
That's okay. There's so many similar names.
Yeah, they're all Thor something. Yeah, so let's call him Big Dad. So Big Dad, he was just like Thorkel and the other ones when he was just destroying everyone. But when he saw the chance to escape from it, he did. And I think what turned him around was him seeing his family and having a family, and he realized he wouldn't want them to go out and just fight just to die. So
Okay.
he's
So
wanting
the
there to be less bloodshed.
okay. There's something there. He wants there to be less bloodshed.
Yeah.
Why does he want there to be less bloodshed? You mentioned his family. Is it a self-preservation thing?
I believe it probably is a self preservation because he's thinking to himself, I don't want to lose my family. And he's like, if I feel this way, then I'm sure there are other people who feel they don't want to lose people who they care about over
Gotcha.
essentially nothing or nothing that he deemed important.
But couldn't he just take an idea of like I just have to be better? I just have to be stronger than everybody else, and then my family's protected, and I can give them stuff from my conquests. Because I mean that's sort of what everybody else was doing anyway.
Well, if he does that, then from his perspective, then he's just adding more to the bloodshed. And then that's another person that has to go home and say, your husband or your father or your brother didn't come back. They died in
Well,
the
what
Valhalla.
what happens when he adds to the bloodshed?
I believe that's just him adding on his conscience. Like he,
Okay. No, but what practically happens when he, shanks a dude in the middle? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, he kills somebody. Um, what's the practical consequence of that? Like,
he doesn't.
for
Yeah.
not necessarily for him. So let's say you're on a battlefield
Hmm.
and you kill somebody. Somebody sees you kill that person,
Hmm.
and like say it's their brother.
Yeah,
What are they gonna do?
they're of course going to want to avenge their sibling.
Okay. Um, and then let's say that person kills you, and your brother-in-law sees that happen. What's he gonna do?
Well, assuming hopefully he liked me enough to want to avenge
Hopefully,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, and that goes back to the whole cow versus the three pigs thing, where it's going to keep going. It's going to keep escalating. That whole I this is probably what the eye for an eye makes a whole blind thing comes from.
So
Where
we're stuck in this cycle.
yes, you get stuck in a big cycle of just violence. People just keep going back and forth. That whole eye for an eye makes a whole world blind. And that's why people say, "Oh, two wrongs don't make a right." Because if you wrong someone, that just means you just did another wrong. But I'm more on the eye for an eye deal because if everyone's going around just stabbing each other's eyes out, then everyone's just blinded at that point. Because
Okay.
and then no one wins.
Sure, no one wins. Okay. I think, if you can, there's a really strong theme of that, obviously, in Vinland Saga,
Hmm.
breaking that cycle. So much so that, like, when Thorfinn is talking to, I don't know, have you read the manga?
No, I have not.
Okay, I don't know how far the anime has gone.
I don't. I'm only halfway through the anime myself. I was watching it with some friends.
Okay, never mind. I'm not going to go into that. Let's talk about something you probably already have seen. Naruto.
Yeah.
Um, that concept of breaking the cycle. When he's talking to Pain, and he's like, "Hey, I could kill you," and Pain's like, "Yeah, are you gonna kill me?" And he's like, "No, I'm not. I'm gonna break that cycle right now." Um, and there's definitely something there because that prevents that you know thing from spiraling out of control because he goes to kill Pain and then the I can't remember the paper lady's name.
Uh, Kona. It's
Some
started with a
I
K.
Yeah, then she's gonna want to take revenge. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
back and forth about like, oh, I'm going to take revenge, I'm going to take revenge, and then all kinds of crazy stuff happens. Um, there's definitely uh, that theme there, and I think that we can look at that and see there's something there. What do you feel like? Because obviously it's like the do unto others golden rule kind of mentality that you were talking about. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what we basically boiled down your value system down to that. I don't want somebody to do something, so I'm not going to. And then, I want good things, so I'm going to do good things, sort of thing.
Right.
Um, in that same way, that breaking that cycle of violence sort of falls into that same concept, right?
Right.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I'd say so because again, like no one appreciates their loved ones being taken from them.